You are walking down the street and suddenly you hear and suddenly you see a red Ferrari just drove by. What's the first thought that comes through your mind?
Without the kick, you become complacent. I think the kick is absolutely required for massive growth, but make sure you use it in the right direction. Forward, not down.
And I was hated by my friends for 5 years because I had to leave them behind. You want to come with me? Let's go. You don't want to come in? No problem. I got to go do what I got to do.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know that there's something greater inside you as well. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Dan Lok. Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The links to join are in the description below.
After you practice martial art, you develop this natural self-confidence. Not cockiness, but you develop this natural self-confidence. There's a problem with young people. You're not good at anything. Oh, I'm so good. No, tell me the truth. You're not good at anything. You are walking down the street and suddenly you hear and suddenly you see a red Ferrari just drove by. What's the first thought that comes through your mind? Comment below. No filter, no edit, just comment below. What's the very first thought that comes to your mind? My guess is, chances are, he's an asshole. Who does he think he is? So cocky, so selfish, probably a greedy bastard. Actually, you know what? Probably it's not his money anyway, it's his daddy's money. Or if it's a lady, it's a woman, oh, that's a gold digger, right? All these negativities, guess what? That's you judging other people. My question to you is, how do you know? How do you know? It's all made up stories in your mind, right? And you say, oh, he's not that good, she's not that pretty, he's not that smart. You're judging other people. You're projecting your own insecurities, your own values onto other people. How do you know that man is not a hardworking man? How do you know he's not a good husband? How do you know he's not a family man? How do you know he's someone who's worked 20, 30 years to get to where he is at this point? How do you know? You judge, you come to your own conclusions before even talking to the person. You see how your mind works? How are you gonna be successful? How are you ever gonna become rich if that's the image that you have for people who are successful?
Comparing yourself to other people can be a fantastic thing. A fantastic thing. But there's only one way to make it work. You have to kick yourself forward, not down. You kick yourself forward, not down. Most people, here's what they do. Most people, you see somebody who's had success, you see somebody with a Ferrari or the car, or somebody who you're jealous of, or you're insecure about yourself when you're around them. You see them and you think you suck. You look at them and say, I suck. Why am I not further ahead? Why is Dan, who's not even 40 years old yet, have all of this success and here I am and I'm not doing it yet? Right? You kick yourself down. That's how most people do it. And in public, you might tell your friends, oh, that person's a scumbag. He stole, he's ripping people off, he's a jerk. But when you go home, you just tell yourself, man, why am I not further ahead? Why am I here? Why am I stuck? Why am I not getting more momentum? You've been kicked, but you've been kicked down. Where what you want to do is kick yourself forward. You want to kick yourself forward. If you see Dan driving his Ferrari, or you see somebody that you look up to and respect, use it as a kick forward to say, this is what's possible. This is what's possible. And if he can do it, if she can do it, then I can do it too. My hero is young Les Brown. I love him from a speaker, just my favorite speaker of all time. I look at that and I say, I can get better. Not that I suck, it's that this is what's possible. I need to get better, I need to improve, I need to practice, I need to keep going, because that's what's possible. But I think you need the kick. Here's the thing, I think what people are saying is don't compare yourself to other people. Just do your thing. I think you'll be complacent. I think without the kick, you become complacent. If you're only doing your thing, if you're running a race and there's nobody around you, you're not going to run as hard. But if there's somebody right next to you, you're gonna run harder. You just will. That's how we're wired. But I think the most important part is that you're kicking yourself forward. I think the kick is absolutely required for massive growth, but make sure you're using it in the right direction. Forward, not down. So I've got a 3-step process you can follow that I think will help. Let's go. Step number 1 is pick 3 people who are going to give you a kick. Pick 3 people that when you see their content, read their books, or you're around them face to face, it just makes you want to go harder. It gives you energy. It's a kick that's going to be forward, right? And I would pick 2 people who are in your industry, 2 people who you aspire to be like, at least in terms of having their success, that they've done something. It's not like you want to be them, but they've done something that you want to model and emulate and they inspire you. 2 people from your industry, and 1 person who's not in your industry. 1 person who you just look up to, you like. If you're in online marketing and you want to learn from Dan, he's one of your 3, awesome, great. But you also love Oprah, great. Even though she's not the online marketer, awesome, pick Oprah. So we want to pick 3 people who are going to give us a kick forward, 2 of them inside your industry and 1 of them outside your industry. Step number 2 is study them. Study their success. Study what made them work. You can watch videos on them. If I have some on my channel, you can go ahead and watch those. But read their books, listen to their podcasts, watch their interviews, whatever they've created content, you want to be around that on a regular basis. Study them. Study what made them successful. Even someone like Dan, go back and look at his old content. Look at him when he was younger and how he didn't have confidence and how he doubted himself and how he's been able to build up who he is today. If you look at his Instagram, he'll show some of his older pictures of him on the boat and him, being a young entrepreneur trying to figure out his path and failing all these times in his businesses before finding his success, right? You're not that different than he was. You're not that different. He just chose to kick himself forward instead of down. So study their success and learn what it took for them to get to where they're at. And then step number 3 is apply what worked for them, right? Whatever worked for them. How did Dan go from where he was to where he's at? First, he had to learn a skill. The first one was copywriting. He mastered that, moved on to another skill, and then another skill. For me, it was looking at Bill Gates. When I was at the bottom of my business and I told my partner that I quit and was failing, I said, who's done this before? Built a software company. I looked at Bill Gates. How did he do it? Partnerships, great. Applied it to my business. And in short order, I had my first deal for $13,500 through my first partnership, right? So you're learning from their success. And even though Bill Gates started way before I did, you can still apply that strategy. And so if you look at 3 people who you look up to and respect and they're going to give you a kick forward, look at what made them successful and then start to apply it to your business. Start to apply it to your life. Start tasting it, testing it, trying it. It's not going to work 100%, but it'll take you 80% of the way. Ultimately, I couldn't just do what Bill Gates did, but his strategy took me 80% of the way instead of me having to figure out everything myself. So that kick forward gives you both the motivation, look at somebody who's done it and say that's what's possible, gives you the motivation to go off and do it, but also by studying their success, gives you the tactics, tells you what to do. You just need to apply it to your business to make it work for you. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I wanna know who are your 3 people that you're gonna use, that you're gonna surround yourself with to kick you forward daily. And if you like this video and you're gonna take some action after watching it, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
What are some ways that I can stop giving this negative feedback to myself? Okay, so first of all, you've got to train yourself to use the negative thoughts that you have as a habit loop trigger of something positive. That's the first step to all of this. So I don't think anybody is going to be able to get rid of the negative voice. And even if you could, I actually don't think you would want to. I think the reality is you want to use that as your jujitsu flip to get over to the positive way of thinking, to get into that positive habit loop, to remind yourself that even if you're not good at it yet, you can get good at it, that you're going to learn by whatever you're doing.
Whatever you want to do in your life, you got to kind of leave your comfort zone, the friends, the family, the cousins that you hang out with all the time, that know you for who you are. And you're saying, this is who I may be today, but man, I want this life. And for you to do this, you got to leave them behind. Do you know how many friends I had that when I was deciding to go and spread my wings, this was the one line. You ready? Here's a line. Hey, Pat, so have you made your millions yet? Pat thinks he's gonna be a millionaire, guys. Where's the millions, huh? I used to see you drive a Ford Expedition. Now you come with a Ford Focus. You are definitely becoming a millionaire. It looks like you're going backwards more than anything. I remember all these stories, every one of them. I went from a big Ford Expedition. I'd go to all the parties. Everybody would go in my car and we'd go together. I lost everything, 49K in debt, and boom, I pull up in a Ford Focus that I can barely fit in. Everyone would say, this is the guy that's gonna be a millionaire. You're the guy that's gonna be somebody we should follow and do business with. Give me a flip and break. And I was hated by my friends for 5 years because I had to leave them behind. You want to come with me? Let's go. You don't want to come in? No problem. I got to go do what I got to do. You ain't never going to pay my bills and I'm not paying your bills. I got to go do my part and I have to go out there and do it. It is not an easy thing to do. But if you're watching this, you're going through it. If you truly are serious with the effort backed up to it, go out there and get exactly what you want.
Hi, this is Dan Lok. If you're a fan of Evan's work, if you want to know exactly how to model my success, I want to invite you to join me for a special online training. All you have to do is click on the link below. You can join me for absolutely no charge. So click on the link below and I will see you in class.
If you want to know what Dan Lok says the #1 secret to success is, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Here's the #1 success secret that no one talks about and no one shares.